the
Yeah,
run.
everything, yeah.
I don't know how I ever did that at all. I can't hardly run for 30 seconds. Did my watch today, 30 seconds. Okay. 30 seconds.
We moved down there because of my.
I mean, you can still do a pretty good
So
time,
we-
but,
South of town, Franklin or North?
I don't know.
North Franklin, Kentucky or Franklin, Tennessee?
Franklin,
I'm always impressed by runners.
so I drive there every day, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I get up early,
Something
head down
that you
here,
like
and
to
then
go
I'm
well.
working till late in the night, and so I gotta go to, I got an awards, for public services
To be a
at 6 I
runner.
gotta get to. I'll be about out here from there, so we're going at it, but yeah. Yeah, and I usually get home between 8 and 10 o'clock.
my husband,
Yeah.
I cycle.
Well, I'll be driving to Franklin starting in December, Carruthers. So, right by the Nissan headquarters.
For work.
You know, it's like,
Yeah. I'm not gonna drive it every day.
Yeah, a lot of people,
To
I'm
me,
surprised the number of people that live
30
here that
miles
work,
to get to
drive
the
that,
beach.
that's the harder way, because you gotta deal
drive
with that.
somewhere.
And as you're driving in the morning, with me, I'm
Like,
Nashville.
Yeah. I'm
They
gonna
always
do
wanna
it
go
early
out
enough to where
afterwards and have
It
beer
won't be any longer than when I
and
was
eat
driving up
and
Laverne.
half the day. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 3
So-
o'clock.
But
Although
I'll
I
be
don't have
working,
anything to do. But
That's just our
sometimes I
corporate
just
office.
don't wanna be
We've got
gone
30
that long.
locations around the country, so I'll go visit different places from time to time. So.
Yeah, I never thought about how much of a time commitment.
Yeah, you look at it.
You haven't even looked at it?
Here, you can give it.
Like somewhere to go do it.
Congratulations on your, is it
Thank
15
you.
years?
Like to go on,
Yeah.
15
start
years
at
of
Orlando.
That is actually very
And then
nice.
right into Kentucky.
Don't drop it.
And there's hardly
Yeah.
any.
I think
Only
there's a
around,
stand there, isn't it, that
you know,
stands up, I think.
farmers are
Or no,
picking their
or stands
maybe
over
tobacco
there.
or something, or running
That's
kids in
nice.
the car. But
I like that.
it's so much
Okay.
safer
Cool.
than around here.
Thank you very much.
I think the longest we had was a gentleman that didn't come that was on the construction board, but he was for 35 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last big bike trip we did, you went.
But they meet
downtown,
once every
just
5
down
or 6
the
years.
downtown.
Oh, okay.
Here at Bailey, since I've been appointed that one, we haven't met.
Yeah, Mary, why don't we just get rid of it? It's in the
Yeah.
code, in the construction code.
On the weekend, they wanna
Construction
do
board review.
45 or 50, and, I mean, I can do it, but I'm just like, at about 25, I'm ready to.
What are you doing?
Enough.
Pastor Fisk.
They had an election yet for the stuff?
They did.
Was that, I didn't see it on the, it wasn't on my ballot.
No? That was your ward? Ward 3?
Yeah, it was not on my ballot.
What was it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I don't remember. I early voted down in Goodlettsville
Did you?
at the Nazarene Church over there.
Huh.
I don't remember seeing it.
Definitely was on mine.
I appreciate it.
It must have been, I must have just didn't realize it.
Yeah, it was on the ballot, but they put the paper.
Did anybody run against him?
Talking about.
Carter Beck.
Yeah.
Library board chairman.
I don't know.
I
Ward
swear I
3? I
remember.
have no idea.
Yeah, he lives.
It's what's the numbers?
I don't know what more.
I guess he won then, right?
Yeah.
Jeremy won, yeah, well, 2-1, I think it was. Yeah. Jeremy's been here a long time, though, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's on the fire department for years.
I remember back,
Very,
I mean, I coached his youngest son.
Oh,
They
did
were
you?
like, Levi, they're like this, him and Evan are like this big.
He's got a granddaughter.
I know, I saw that. Yeah, he was back on the court. Probably want to complain about that.
Fine, what you need? All right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Right back.
I think the mayor, he might step in, he says. That's with him all day, the mayor. So, and meetings all day together. Mary?
Let me get my, bifocal.
Yeah, I know.
Let me take a picture with my phone and go
Put the
out.
magnifying glass out. I don't know if we can put that up on the screen.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I didn't know, I'm sorry. So let's take off. Oh, that one's really too.
All right, Kevin, we're gonna start early?
Yep.
Or we wanna wait 3 minutes? It's up to you.
I think we're good.
We're good? All right, let's call the meeting to order. It's 4:57, and a roll call, looks like we have everyone here except for Carlos. All right, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, anyone for public comment? Nobody signed up? All right, Kevin, we're off to new business.
I just briefly wanted to mention too, finally found out that we did get the extra funding for the grant that I applied for, so we're all good there, so that was a nice way to help my life there, so.
So it went from like 60,000 they were gonna give us to what?
1,079,000.
To 500,000, because they'll give us.
Yeah, total $1,079,000, so, and that's for the dog park parking lot, concession stand renovation and new building, the tennis court shade structure and benches. So that'd be nice if we can get that started hopefully next budget year, so. And then I'll also be applying for the, grant. The intent to apply starts early December, and so I think we discussed in our last meeting about, pickleball.
Will they let us do it without,
Yes.
while we still have a project?
Yeah, we can, they said it doesn't matter if you still got one going on. you can
That's good to
apply,
hear.
so, yeah. So I plan to, put in for it.
How many courts do you think we can put up there?
So we decided on the ones that were at the park, and there were gonna be 3 there.
Making 3 there, that'd be great.
So. That's all going, just, I guess, I don't know if Jerry, if you wanted to give like an update on,
Yep.
from yesterday's meeting, or?
Right, I'll do that. Yeah, yesterday, I'm sorry, it's only done it before you, but we had our meeting with the architect and the contractor, and they are moving along pretty quick, but they want to start talking about demolition and in January, and they put brakes on it and said, wait, we have basketball going on full blast right now. We got hundreds of kids in our basketball program. So we kind of worked out, looked at the calendar, Selena and I, we worked out an agreement with them that they could have access to it February 22nd. Our basketball season will be over with at that point. So February 22nd, the kicker, we usually would be starting volleyball within a couple of weeks after that, maybe for sure within 3 or 4 weeks. Volleyball would be starting in March. So I said that should give you a little bit more time. If we can just have access, and I got to check with our zoning, make sure they're going to be okay, give us a temporary occupancy. If we can just have access to the gym and those downstairs bathrooms on the first floor, we could at least work in that area while they're finishing and punch list stuff on the rest of the building. And we could continue with our volleyball while they're finishing tearing down the building, forming out the new parking lot area, and getting pavement and all that stuff done. So we figure we can get through that part of it through volleyball, and then limiting the number of programs that we're doing in the building just to that gymnasium area. And then once we still think we can be ready to go. They're looking at possibly, they mentioned possibly taking till June or so to get everything done. So once we get full occupancy of the building, we still think we can target July 1st to kick off our membership, probably do our ribbon cutting right around that July 1st, at the end of June or July 1st. I'll narrow that date in as we get a little bit closer, but that would be about the time we would probably be opening up, doing our memberships. And I appreciate you, I wasn't able to make your last meeting, but I appreciate you getting those fee schedules together. They look pretty good. I appreciate the benefit that you gave to the employees, the 50% on residents. So we appreciate that. I looked at that. It's going to be in the agenda packet, so the before Mayor Alderman will be reviewing it for the next Thursday's meeting. I think that's all I took from it. If you want to go over any more information with him on it.
No. I guess, I mean, I can go in any direction you guys want, but I mean, my plan for this was just to kind of, you know, start from scratch, like how we came up with our hours of operation and, staffing and those kind of plans, and we can go in any kind of direction you guys want. Just start off
Any
with,
specific way you guys want to go?
Start at the top and go down.
just starting with, this is kind of a summary of the research that I started a couple of years ago on, for our hours of operation. Looked at all the Nashville rec centers, the Franklin and Williamson County rec centers, Murfreesboro rec centers, Sumner, Robertson County YMCA, the Gallatin Civic Center, Springfield Civic Center, and that's how we kind of formulated our plan for hours of operation. So the common theme is to have, it's broken down different ways, different places, but the common theme is Monday through Thursday you have a set of hours, Friday is a little different, Saturdays maybe a little different, and then Sundays, if you have hours, it's shortened, or they're not open at all. So, just as you can see going through here, all the Nashville, Murfreesboro rec centers, they open at 6 a.m. Monday through Thursday. Springfield opens at 6:30. Some of the Robertson County YMCA rec centers, the Gallatin rec center, and all the Franklin and Williamson County rec centers, they open at 5 a.m. And then all of these rec centers close between 8 and 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday. And then usually other places they'll close down like an hour early on Fridays or 2 hours early. Gallatin does it 2 hours early. So, and then Sundays, if they are open, they open at noon or 1 o'clock, and then they close at 5 or 6 o'clock. So, what we were proposing, as we talked about it here before, you know, just starting from a starting point, and then we can expand from there if you know the feedback, you know, says that we need to be open longer or whatever it is. So we propose to be open Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Fridays, 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and Saturdays the same thing, and then just be closed on Sundays. The game room hours, we're still sort of trying to formulate that. We're trying to go in a little bit different direction from some of the other places we've seen, because most of them, they just have set hours of like 4 to 8 p.m. for the game room, and we were kind of thinking, well, on days when there's not school, I mean, there's no reason to keep it closed. I'm sure we'll have kids wanting to come in and play in there, so we were thinking on non-school days, just base it off of Robertson or Sumner County schools, since that's the majority of the kids that we're going to get. If one of those schools or both are open, then we'll, you know, allow people to go in there. And then on school days, just being open from 2 p.m. until close.
Think about homeschool, like, if somebody was homeschooled, that might want to.
Yeah, we talked about how to accommodate that. I mean, I think we would just be open to, like, you know, letting them come in, you know, especially if they got like some sort of programming that they have in their homeschool classes that relate to that. I think we would certainly be open to that, I think.
So you have holidays here, is that only in reference to the kids' times?
No.
Or is that also in reference?
I'm referencing this is just to go into holidays in general, that we were proposing that to be, the only days we completely shut down is Christmas and Thanksgiving, and then the other holidays just have either reduced hours or just be open like normal. So just depends on the holiday, like 4th of July, we may close down a little early, or Labor Day, but like Columbus Day, President's Day, stuff like that, I mean, I think we would just have a normal day, so.
And you budgeted for that? Because you'd have to have staff those days?
Yeah, I mean, we budgeted for, you know, having full
Because
staff.
normal city staff would not be here, that's why I'm asking that question.
Right, I guess they'd have to have, they get, holiday pay for that, yes.
Kevin, Giovanni, I have a question on the school days, non-school days. I'm not sure that even needs to be really addressed. I'm just thinking from my own standpoint here, because if you have these, you're talking about the game room hours,
Yes.
is what it says. But you know, you could have somebody that's out of high school that's a gamer
Oh, yes, the game room, I'm saying, that's the standalone game room, you know, that's more for kids. The esports, that will be available anytime.
I mean, why not?
But
Why
we talked about that.
differentiate, why would it just be normal hours instead of to me, it's complicating the matter.
Cause you gotta go through one room to get to the
And
other one
we,
anyway.
yeah, Selena and I talked about that, that's why I said, we're not completely sold on that, so,
Yeah.
you know, that's.
I
I'm
mean,
glad
these
that's
are our
a
hours of
conversation.
operation for anybody, you know,
Right.
so
Right.
why, because then
So
there's
you're
many
saying-
homeschool kids that are home, I mean, they may wanna come in.
So you say we should just be open
I would just
with
keep
that
it open.
all the time?
Yeah, all the time, I think that's.
Yeah, we kick that around too, so I mean, that's, yeah,
That's exactly what I was gonna say, so.
Okay.
that's fine. That works.
And you may find out after you're doing it that if you're not getting usage, but it requires a support staff member, that
Right.
payroll position, then maybe you reallocate that and change your hours for, it may be the esports room, cause it's a separate room.
Mhm.
Maybe a later in the afternoon thing, but then you make it, cause the first room you go into, and it's card access,
Mhm.
is the main game room anyway.
Right.
Esports, you could have that as a secondary if you need to lock it off.
Makes sense. Yeah, we just based this off of because we've seen other places that it had the different hours, but.
I think it just complicates it. It's
Yeah.
These are our hours, I mean, the library doesn't say, okay, for school days and non-school
Right.
days, and
Yeah.
museum doesn't do that, would rather not do that.
Totally fine with me.
Can we go back to the opening hours?
Sure.
Like the actual hours itself?
Yes.
When there's basketball games, volleyball, et cetera, how late is someone here?
We plan on them probably being here until about 9. That's what, on the coverage map that I have, and I can show that. That's how we have.
So games last until 9, or the person locking the
Someone
door?
will be here till 9. That's what we're anticipating, because obviously we've got, you know, double the capacity now, so I don't think we should have to go quite as late. Cause I mean, now, yeah, they're there till probably 9 o'clock with practices going on, or maybe a little later.
Some days later, because I used to, yeah. when I get out of
So if
meetings,
we have
sometimes late,
someone
they were
here
late.
till 9, why not be open till 9?
Well, we have time to close it down and stuff,
Clean
lock
up,
everything,
close it down,
clean and
so
all
you
that
gotta-
kind of stuff. So,
Make sure everybody's out of the building.
yeah.
But
And I mean, if we've got something going on until 9 o'clock, those programs and stuff, you know, it'll still be open for them, obviously. It's just for the public, you know.
So somebody's running, the facility.
Right.
So if my kid's here practicing and I wanna go use the fitness room, I can't go use it because no one's there.
If we close at 8:30, yeah.
That's what I'm, do you see what I'm saying? Okay.
Can
Get
we,
it early.
But if my kid's practicing till 9 anyways, someone has to be here till 9:30 anyways if we gotta clean up the gym and
I
all
would
that
say,
stuff.
I'm sure somebody will be lenient on that if they're here. I mean, I don't think we have to do
I'm
that.
just saying I can see a
Sure.
mom or someone saying, I couldn't use the facility cause it was already shut down, but my kid's still practicing, so I guess I'm just gonna sit here and wait on my kid. Like, I can see that being something that someone says as a complaint, so I'm
and if
just,
someone's here anyway,
right, I'm
to
just
shut
bringing
it
it to the
Right.
forefront of things that could be complained
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, I mean, that certainly could be a possibility, and we could probably, like I said, be lenient on that, in that situation. If we do have programs that are going until 9 o'clock in the gym, then yeah, I mean, there's
Right.
no reason to do
Right.
that.
I'm
We're probably
just
gonna have
saying, like-
somebody scheduled to be here till 9:30 or 10 o'clock,
Right.
you know, in that case.
Well, I think
Right.
what you'll figure out is like, let's say the weight room, you're gonna have a shutdown time, cause like, are they gonna wipe down the machines at the end of every shift?
Yeah.
So if somebody's in there till 9 and they're wiping down machines, if you stay,
Yep.
then you're there till 9:30 cleaning. So I think you gotta come up with a hard, fast rule of, and if you've got card access on doors, hey, this part of the building closes. Otherwise, you're gonna have people staying at 10 o'clock at night, closing the building out. So you've gotta have a cutoff time,
Yeah,
whether it's
maybe,
9 or 8:30.
maybe a last time of entry, like a cutoff for coming in, but the facility's still open, like 30 minutes more.
Yeah. It's kind of like a restaurant, you go in at 9 o'clock, you piss the staff off and it's closed down. But it's like, you try to be a good steward and not stay till 10:30 at their table, right? So they're gonna push you out sooner or later, so.
And our staff are used to that, you know, so I mean, then I guess where are we at with it? I mean, do we just say that it's closing at 8:30, or
I mean, you have to have a close time, but like you said,
if somebody's still in there after 8:30 and we've got programs going on? I mean,
And maybe you try to get your basketball done or whatever. I mean, I think you gotta have a time where you say, hey, look, facility's closed, everybody get out, unless it's a run over for whatever. But I would say that that's a time that you lock down, because otherwise it's gonna be constant overtime, you're gonna pay for people, you're gonna go over budget, you're gonna end up with people upset because they couldn't get home in time, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, I definitely don't think that we should have basketball and volleyball going on and everything else being shut down. I think if that's going on, everything needs to be open. The
But
same
we're not gonna know
time.
what that's gonna be until we have our
Yeah.
program.
How many people you have here, closing a building down at night? And I'm looking, this
Three.
your, kind of your,
This was the soft opening part of it, but the full opening, I mean, yeah, we'll have 3 here at all times, so.
And now, by soft opening, are you talking about the
If we
time?
wanted to try to do the 7:15 to 5:15 Monday through Saturday, but it doesn't sound like that's an option.
Because it's not even gonna be
Available.
open,
Available.
okay.
Like I said, I'm hoping I can just use the gym until, I think if we target that July 1st date as being our main target area open,
And I'm
would be good. And that means I can push the developer, the contractor, to get things done but being able to utilize it, keep the same hours we do now, using some programming in them for your gym like you're doing now, but keeping the rest of the facility closed, because we want to get all the equipment in there right, and it gives us more time to get all that stuff together.
well, I think what you're gonna run into is, let's say if you're talking July 1st, right? Pushing to that, you get all your equipment, get everything. You can have some of your staff go ahead and start getting used to, hey, how long does it take for us to close at night? Like if I said, hey, we're shutting down, do your time studies on, man, it took us 48 minutes to do this, and that was me running, knowing that everybody you have working for you is probably not gonna work that hard. Or they'll figure out how to get things done early, right? But you'll learn a lot in that period before you actually open if you have some staff here. And you'll get all the bugs worked out, because it's not gonna be perfect from the opening.
What's the latest, you think we've ever had, we would have a program going, if it's.
A program that if we scheduled it like, then we wouldn't have anything going past that, but I guess.
But basketball or volleyball games, if they're running.
Right, now that could go currently, we've had practices go till 9:30 at night or 10.
But if you do, then maybe that's your top line, whether we close at 9:30, we close at 10, and then then you're programming your staff to be able to be there an hour beyond that. So I guess if they're done and everybody leaves the building, then maybe there's a chance they could close a little early, but there's nobody there, but.
I think he's
you need
saying he
to.
doesn't even know what that schedule's gonna look
Yeah,
like.
you need to know your top end though.
We won't know that until we have signups and stuff and know how many teams we're gonna have. I don't anticipate that being the case with this facility though. That's why I think 8:30 is a fine time, because most everything should be done by then. I don't anticipate, especially volleyball, there might be basketball that goes till 8:30 or something like that, but I can't see much past that.
So if we have the same number of teams playing as we do this season in basketball, playing there next season, how late would we have to be there?
So right now, we've got all of our teams practicing there Monday through Friday.
And they go, the latest one would end at 9:15, but
And
we
we're
double our
going to be able to
capacity.
double our capacity, so
So
it
we'll,
won't
should,
even
in
be
theory, get done,
close.
You're not
Before
using any
8:30.
other gyms for practices then, right?
not during the week.
No.
Okay, so did we turn kids away from playing basketball because we didn't have space for practice?
No.
And are we utilizing other gyms for practice space currently?
On Saturdays.
Okay, so if we added those in to the current schedule for this facility,
The other schools?
The practices that are
Oh,
on
okay.
Saturday, if
So
you
on
roll that to
Saturday.
the weekday.
if you roll that to a weekday,
Yeah.
do you have what time would you go till? Do you know?
Saturdays,
On
No,
week.
if it was a Monday through Friday, are you gonna be able to absorb those Saturday practices into the new facility Monday through Friday? With the double and,
well, we do,
Teams get one practice during the week and one practice on Saturday, so.
Okay.
yeah, it's not just one
They would
practice.
still have practice
so you
on
would still have
Saturday.
practice on Saturday.
Sure.
So I guess my question is, are you able to absorb every single practice that's happening elsewhere outside of the facility now into this new facility and have the times be set?
Other than Saturdays maybe, but we'd still probably, because we've got, if you're doing 4 teams at a time, we've got 42 teams, you need, well, even if you go up to 50, you need
We could do 5 teams at a time, we just lose all of our auxiliary gym capacity
Yeah,
as
so
well.
you don't have it for the public, it's like.
And then you
that's
don't have your
part of this
pickleball,
too.
that would cause a problem.
Yeah, but I mean, you're doing 4 teams at a time, you have 50 teams, I mean, that's,
12 hours, if it's an hour practice, it's 12 hours.
It's
Yeah, so you're
45
done by-
minutes, so we gain some,
yeah,
but.
you're done by 8 o'clock if you start at 8 AM practice. But we actually do 45-minute practices, so it'd actually be shorter than that, so. And I can't see us, I mean, we haven't gotten to 50 teams yet, so. And of course, we're growing, I know, but eventually, I mean, people start going to other programs and stuff like that. There's upward that they didn't have last year, so we had more teams than that because of that, so. I think we have more than enough space to accommodate it.
So you wouldn't have to use the school on Saturday? You could just.
No, I don't think we should.
That's what I'm saying, we wouldn't have to utilize any other gym space besides our
Now,
own.
when we get it to games, though, that goes down to 2 courts that we can use. So we may have to use a school for games, because, you know, you're talking about, you're only using 2 courts at that time, so you're, yeah, I mean, it's,
So
How
how
many
many-
games a week do we play?
we just do games on Saturday.
Saturday.
Just on Saturdays, okay.
And I'd be cognizant not to jam every basketball activity through the gyms and then leave no time for community use of gyms.
Yeah, that's why
That's
we
been
like
one
to
of the
keep
big
the
things that-
relationship going with the schools, because I mean,
Yes.
it still would be nice to be able to use it, for sure.
And I know basketball's during that one time of season, but I would just say, still have the relationship with the gyms, use the schools, where you can.
I just thought the whole point of the Wilderness Rec Center, so we didn't have to utilize that anymore, and we had one space to do everything.
Well, we don't have to rely on them nearly as much anymore, that's for sure.
It's definitely feasible to get all of our games on Saturday into our 2 courts, but again, it's on the main courts, it's gonna be 8 AM potentially to 8 PM, it'll be
Right.
pushing us as hard as we can.
What do we pay the schools to utilize their space?
We don't currently pay them, not the middle school, we've gotten away with we haven't had to pay them. Now, they're asking for some money this year, which is understandable, we've used for the past several years without having to pay anything. So they're asking if we can, give them some money this year, which we built that in.
We typically
so.
have to pay their facility staff, and then some schools ask for an hourly rate on top of their facility.
Yeah, Heritage, we definitely have to pay at Heritage, yes.
Yeah, we pay for their
But
facility
the middle
staff.
school, we haven't asked.
Right, so if we're adding staff and adding space, I just feel like we should try to utilize our own space.
Oh, sure, yes, absolutely.
Well, I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, we can keep the relationships with the school open, but if we're paying for that, and we're doing all that, and we're building a $24 million facility, and we've added employees to be able to accommodate, then we should be utilizing our space.
Absolutely, I agree.
And if we have to go 8 to 8, then that's what we do.
I mean, I know Mark and Marie, remember, we had a battle with Sumner County, because, you know, one of the school board members made sure that, we were, because it was, you know, a football field,
Yeah.
Gatsby or something, whatever it was, that we were gonna be charged, and it passed a special resolution, whatever, anyway. So it took us years, and finally, a couple of legislative board members and myself met with the director of schools, and he finally, after several years, said, we're not doing that anymore. So the Kevin has a relationship with the middle school coach, the principal, he used to be your coach, baseball coach, and so, he was the first one to let us in, and, because they wanted to charge us, I mean, the fees are really high. So we don't really want to kill that relationship at all if we don't have, because it's so hard to get it back, but I agree, we should try to use our gymnasium facilities to cover as many. I'm even thinking maybe bleeding into Sunday afternoon games, I mean, I don't know how that's going to go in the community.
It's a whole lot easier for us to just use our own, that's for
Yeah,
sure,
I mean,
because it's a headache trying to.
If we're closed on Sunday, it'd be maybe for program specific, you know,
Right.
volleyball,
Yeah,
basketball.
rentals and stuff like that. too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we may be able to utilize that space on Sunday.
I'm just thinking, like, we have this beautiful facility, and we spend a lot of money, and
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna use it, that's for sure.
it just makes sense to
Yeah.
use it.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yep, I agree.
But that's the only program that we would go that late on, for basketball, because that's by far our biggest program. Girls volleyball isn't even anywhere close to doing that, so we'd be done early afternoon probably with the
Yeah, we'd be
volleyball.
done before our proposed operational.
How many volleyball games can we have going on? Is it gonna be one for each of the courts down
I
there?
guess we could have 3 technically
If we
if we
use
use
the
all
auxiliary.
the.
Or we could have 3 going at the same time for practices and games? Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, we can do whatever on the operating hours, I mean, I can adjust those very easily. But again, like on Saturdays, I mean, the only time of year that is gonna be right now when we need later times on Saturdays. But, I mean, I don't know if we wanna just set that for, you know, we just change our operating hours by, you know, those months, or just all the time, you're open till 8:30 on Saturdays.
Or just have a set 6 to 8:30 every day but
Every day.
Sunday.
We could, yeah.
Make it easy across the board.
Makes it easier for people to remember if they're,
Yeah.
when they're
Right.
coming, you know, to the
Mhm.
facility.
But what I did notice in your stuff above is that like Robertson County and other areas open at 5.
Yes.
And I think that's because they have people that don't work in their area, they travel out. So I think they open earlier to accommodate those that would be traveling elsewhere to work. So I just wanna bring up that point that maybe we wanna think about opening a little earlier.
I'd say do 6, and then if somebody complains, then you can always you can peel it back. It's hard to open at 5 and nobody being here, and then go, well, we're gonna do it at 6 for the one person that comes in at 5, three days a month.
Right.
Yeah, that was our thought process, yeah, was just, yeah, we can always go back to 5 AM if we get a lot of requests saying that. But if we did start out then and it's only a few people using it, then, yeah, it's
So
hard
why
to
can't we
just
do
say-
5 and go to 6 if no one shows up?
It's a lot of extra money. You got coverage and people opening, and I don't know, I mean, if it's funded, I guess that's okay, but you're talking, that's 14.5 hours a day you're open now, you're going 15.5 hours,
Yeah.
your staff coverage goes up. I don't know, I mean, I think at the end of the day, this is a new venture for us that we're gonna learn a lot, probably in the first 6 months, probably the first year. It's something that I think is great, and something we never thought we'd have. I mean, I've been here 28 years in the city, and this is a milestone, I think, that's been pretty cool, so. Not gonna be perfect, day one.
If something does happen to the, timeframe when we can be fully into the building, can we revisit the soft opening thing? Cause I'm not sold on that at all.
I don't think we're gonna have, we probably will
Not a
eliminate
chance.
the soft opening, it probably just go straight on, you know, right to full blast.
Okay.
You know, so the soft would only be the fence that we're just using the gym
Okay.
to make sure we can accommodate our volleyball program for the spring.
Okay, I just
guess
wanna
the
make
question I
sure.
would ask you, I guess, then is, I mean, are you okay with us, because I guess originally we were planning on, as soon as we can get access to the gym, maybe extending it to Fridays and Saturdays, but are we just?
I would just keep
Monday
it,
through
I would just
Thursday?
keep it the way it is now,
Okay.
we're just moving our programs from one facility to the other, and then our new changes all take place July 1st, that would be good.
Yeah.
And I think that
I like
needs to
that.
be communicated to the public way in advance, so
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
is aware of what's going on.
Yep.
So, Facebook,
Yeah.
Or an online house.
Yeah.
all the things.
I mean, I need another, I probably need another month to communicate this with the architect and the engineer, and the
Right.
contractor, to make sure.
I'm just saying, as soon as we
Say,
know
this is our
for
date,
sure,
guys.
Yeah.
like it needs to be, we need to be communicating hours, we need to be communicating opening, we
Yep.
need to be communicating facility,
Yep.
space rentals, everything.
Membership, where do you sign up?
Yeah.
Right.
How do you sign up?
I
Yeah.
mean,
The
you could,
people
you
are
could,
already asking the questions, like what's gonna be in there, what's,
Yeah.
yeah, all
And if
that.
they sign up online, like you said, in the rec league program that you have, where, how are they gonna get their pass? They're gonna have to come and check in at the front desk, and, you know, we'll have to be able to
I
get
think we
passes
could
then.
be doing a lot more marketing about the hype of what's going on,
Yeah.
and what's gonna be in there.
That facility rentals, all of that.
Okay.
you could open up the sign-ups even in,
Did you say that
May.
Zach's in charge of that, or who is in charge of that?
It's kind of a collective.
When are we gonna meet Zach?
Anytime you want to.
Okay, is he
You can bring them
gonna,
at the next meeting.
that would be good.
do you have your staff already, is the staff that's currently managing the gym, I guess they'll transition over, and how many new people do you have, and what is their start date?
All right, so, yeah, going into staffing, so currently we have 2 full-time and 2 part-time at our civic center. But in January, we plan to hire 1 more full-time and then 4 more part-time. So we'll be at 9 total. And then in July, we plan on hiring another full-time. So the first full-time, we planned on doing like a Wednesday through Saturday shift, which may not be necessary now, but,
We're
if
not
we're just
doing
gonna do
this
that,
on
we'll
Yeah,
do
Tuesday.
yeah,
we'll
don't
do
even
Monday
do the
through
soft
Thursday.
opening. Let's
Yeah.
go to the full opening. But you'll still have to bring people in before time
To start training.
to start
Right.
training and get
Yeah,
your
so
process.
we'll probably
down.
just transition that to Monday through Thursday then.
And they can be doing marketing too.
Yeah, they could,
Yeah, it could be helpful with that, yeah.
Well, I think what would be good too is getting the routine down, getting your processes down, your maintenance,
How to use
Yeah,
all
we'll definitely be
everything.
training them on the
Yeah.
rec desk and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, so.
and then, I know, not talking about a soft opening, but maybe what you would do is if you've got it where most things are here by June, but maybe not 100% complete, you could do your soft opening with city employees.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
And that way the city employees could kind of be your test, because maybe they're not gonna be so pissy with you when it comes to being upset about something not working or knowing the bugs are gonna be fixed, but it gives you a chance to
But
go.
it would be a good way for your staff to practice opening memberships and
Yeah, that way
everything
you
up.
start getting things, and you can even have the public say, you can sign up, but we won't take your payment until a certain date. Go ahead and get everybody in, so it's a little bit of free time. I mean, you can do that in May if you had the software,
Mhm.
somebody to do it,
Yes.
so. Just take all the,
Will people be able to sign up for membership online?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is what we, so we'll have 4 full-time, once the full opening happens. Again, the newest employee, we were planning on doing Wednesday through Saturday, so once it's fully open, we'll transition to Wednesday through Saturday. And then the other full-time was gonna be second shift, so, and they'd be working Monday through Thursday, so, and that'd be like at 10:30 to close. That way we have a full-time staff, closing on those nights.
did you guys use the 4-day schedule because it's a benefit to get employees? Is that a big draw for city people? Because I know most other cities are open 5 days a week. So are we doing, is that, I know you're the HR person, so.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the
So,
question.
so is it a big draw to get people on a 4-day schedule to work for the city? Because I know people a lot of times complain about, well, usually I take off on Fridays and can't get anything done because.
It is a huge draw. That
Yeah.
is one of the biggest benefits that the employees bring up frequently, is one of their most favored benefits is working Monday through Thursday, having a
Gotcha.
4-day work week. And
Okay.
a lot of businesses are transitioning to that because it is such a draw with workers today.
Right, but usually they'll cover Monday through Friday, but they'll have somebody that's a Monday off and somebody that's a Friday off. Just thinking you're going to have to do that for the,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to make,
Yeah, that's
I
why
mean,
we
that'd be a
got the
benefit for me, but I'm just thinking,
Yeah,
if
so
people
we got
take
the
off on
Wednesday through
Fridays.
Saturday person, it's still 4 days, but they're just gonna work the Wednesday through Saturday. That way we've got a full-time staff there.
Right,
on
but
those
you have to do it
days.
for the parks, there's certain departments
Yeah,
that
we
don't
do.
get that luxury, but
Yes, we
just wondering, because I know, I hear comments from people that, man, I take off on Fridays and I can't get anything
So
done.
Kevin, what is it gonna look like for you when we open over there? Are you gonna like spend a majority of your time over there helping with staff and making sure things run smoothly, or what does
Selena
that
will
look
help a
like?
whole lot with that, and of course, I'm gonna be involved, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the biggest thing we've ever done in our
Right.
department, so
I mean, just
gonna be
asking, like,
heavily
what does it
involved.
look like? Are we gonna be all hands on deck and not just relying on newbies, or?
No, absolutely, yes. Well, and that's one thing I was gonna bring up as well, is that, especially at the beginning, if some hiccups happen, or, we have people call out or whatever, Selena and I will definitely be helping in that capacity. So, yes, I mean, for sure, I mean, I understand how important this is, and, I mean, that's basically all I've been
I mean, I'm
working
just
on.
thinking if someone calls out on a Friday,
Right.
are we gonna have the
Yeah.
availability, okay, or Saturday, or whatever?
Yeah, we've built that in there too, that, of course, I guess we're shifting a little bit with the hours, but like, what we originally started out with was, this was giving every part-time worker about 20 hours a week, and we can go up to 29 or 30 in a week. So we've got wiggle room there, so if somebody calls out, somebody else can pick up some more hours.
So you have wiggle room in your budget, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just hours wise, I mean, we have the wiggle room there to do that, so, yeah, we've tried to think of everything when it comes to the staffing. That's the reason why I did the coverage maps that you see here, just to make sure every single shift is covered with 3 people. It's the only time that it's not is on Mondays and Tuesdays, and we can easily shift that if we think we need more people. But just the first hour on Mondays and Tuesdays, we had, just 2 people here. But other than that, we've got 3 people here at least, the entire week, so.
And when you say attendant, are they doing the cleaning, like in the bathrooms and the whole building cleaning?
Yeah, and they'll be, of course, if they're gonna be at the front desk, you know, helping people check in or taking new memberships, stuff like that, issuing equipment to people. You know, if somebody comes in and wants to use the esports room, take them down there, let them in there, that kind of thing.
And this doesn't have the maintenance person listed on it, but you're gonna have a
They're not in
maintenance
our
person,
department, yeah.
but they're gonna be at that building too, so you've got other people in there besides just the parks attendants, which is good.
Yes.
Are you gonna have a full-time janitor?
We did not plan on that. Now, of course, we're gonna be doing our own cleaning, but we're also gonna have Janicking that comes and services this building. I did budget for that.
How many times are they coming in?
I mean, at least twice a week, you know, so, and now, we're probably gonna have them focus more on like the common areas and stuff, and we'll learn more about the detailed stuff, but, and they'll clean the restrooms when they come as well, because that's what they do here. They clean the restrooms, take out the trash, and then I think they come back one more day and take out trash, but I think at this facility, it's open more, obviously, and used more. We're gonna have to do that twice a week, so.
Will there be a staff member cleaning the bathrooms every
Oh,
day?
yeah, for sure, yes. We do that every day now.
Okay, what about like showers? Will it be multiple times a day?
I'm not sure what the standards are on that. I would have to.
Yeah, you probably have a health department standard on
Yeah.
that, that's like so many times to check the boxes.
I know when I was at the Y, they were cleaned by the night staff daily. They had a night staff cleaning crew. It wasn't part of, from what I can remember on our side, the maintenance staff and housekeeping staff did go through and clean bathrooms, but I don't remember them doing deep cleans of the showers.
Yeah, I would just put it on your checklist, because you'll have a whole facility maintenance checklist of cleaning and all that. Your supervisor should put all that together.
But that was the fun of the attendance, if he's gonna have three there, or even if he has two, one has to be up at the desk, check people in and out.
Right.
The other one can be going around
Making sure
cleaning and
those
checking
things are
things
done.
to make sure.
Yeah,
they're
there'll
done.
be like hourly counts done in the buildings to check room statuses. And
Yeah.
then there'll be cleaning rotation and cleaning duties in fitness
Yeah.
center as well as in common areas and multipurpose rooms.
And we'll just continue to add attendance as needed, as
Yeah.
the problem grows.
Let's see, of course, we've done the membership stuff. I know I kind of mentioned that we were doing a walkthrough, but the day camp, or the kids camp is one thing that that's the one thing that we're the most unsure about, because we're gonna have staff or contract it out to like a daycare or something like that, because we don't know if originally what we planned on was doing like a morning shift and an afternoon shift. But we're, you know, thinking, do we really wanna be just a full-on daycare, basically? So, yeah.
You got a room for it, you got the setup, and then you figure out how that works, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't focus.
Maybe
I
like
lean more
club.
towards doing like after-school programming.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to do. And, you know, you have the buses drop the kids off here after school, and then they go in there and do their little crafts or whatever it is. That's what I would lean towards, but of course, we're gonna need extra staffing for that. Our own staff that we plan on having now is not gonna be
Just a
adequate,
lot of
so.
liability with that too.
I know.
Keeping up with kids, I would avoid that like the plague. I would stay away from it, and if somebody came in that managed a program that was set up, I would let them entertain that, but I would not take that over from the city.
I agree.
More like how, maybe talk to the library and see how they do their clubs, their kids clubs that they have over there. I don't know if it's just,
I don't know if the parents drop them off or.
yeah, I don't know how
the
that,
parents are
I don't
with
know
them,
how that
yeah.
works over there, so maybe like, see how they do theirs.
Yeah.
They have to stay.
I know with the churches, like church security, like dropping your kids off for church in the morning now, it's like dropping them off at the prison.
Yeah.
I mean, I could also just see like running rampant, the
Yeah.
room gets
Yeah.
destroyed, like I just,
I know. Yeah, that's definitely the one thing that
I'd
we've
keep
been
that
like
off
the
the
least
table.
thrilled about, that's for sure. So, yeah, any other suggestions you have on that, we're
Yeah,
all.
like I said during the walkthrough, if we do anything with kids in there, I would definitely have a camera just to protect employees.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe it's something we don't launch initially,
yeah.
and
Right.
see if there's a need and a desire for it from the residents before we
I'm all aboard.
jump into that.
Or keep it closed up for a while, till we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. Or maybe see if you have a group that wants to utilize it weekly for after-school program or something,
Girl Scouts.
yeah,
they're looking
Girl
for
Scouts,
places.
Boy
Yeah.
Scouts
I
are
love
always
that.
looking for
That's
Yeah,
places.
that's what I,
For sure.
Yes, I don't think we wanna be babysitters.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a huge insurance jump on that too.
I think it's a risk we don't need to take.
Yeah.
Really, the only other thing that I really wanted to touch on was like the fitness center. You know, we've looked at a lot of different places, and I think what we'd like to do starting out for our fitness classes is try to target like 15 to 20 hours a week of like classes, dedicated classes that are included in people's memberships. And we can expand from there. It's different everywhere, like the National Rec Centers, they only have like 4 or 5 classes a week. But then you go somewhere like Murfreesboro or, well, Gallatin, I mean, they got like up to 30 hours
Yeah.
worth of classes. So it's hard to gauge. That's why I was thinking, maybe target 15 or 20 the first year of it, see how it goes. If we get full classes, we
I
expand
would
even
love
more.
to see classes in evenings,
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
because right now we only have day ones, and
Right.
so
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be good.
I would love to see some evening programming.
And that's gonna be dependent on what we get back. We already have a ad going in the We're on White House for a call for instructors, and that's for any kind of class, you know, esports, of course, fitness and aerobics. And so that'll go out in December. We'll put it on our website. So that'll be out there already looking for. So if we're not gonna start until July or whatever, then we've got plenty of time for that to set that up. I mean, so I feel pretty good about that.
So your budget include paying those instructors, or are they gonna charge an additional fee on top of what we're doing for the rec
So,
center?
for what we planned on this year, was we just kind of put it in like our contractual services budget. But we wanted to try to put it in our employee budget for the next budget year if we could. But I know there's a lot of competing interests on more employees and stuff, so I understand that might be a little difficult. So if we have to just contract it out, we can do that. too.
Can it be, when you're looking for staff, can you find somebody that can do both?
That, yes, we actually tried to, we're gonna try to create a new position called like recreation leader. You see that in a lot of recreation centers. And what we thought was, it's kind of like a promotional opportunity for the employees to move into that position. So what we would require is they gotta get certified like in CPR and first aid training, but then they need to also get certified in like a class, like teaching some sort of class. And then we can promote them into that recreational leader position. And so that's one thing that we wanted to move towards as well, so. Yes.
Almost like a person that would be like personal training certified.
Yes, that would be great. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yoga.
Yeah, that's almost like we have a, you know, regular level 1 employee, level 2, senior level, whatever you wanna call it. And, you know, and they all have the same initial goals, but this one has, if you have this plus, then you can get into this position.
Right, and yeah, you can go recreation leader 1, recreation leader 2, yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Because you can look for that in your job posting to see if people have those skills initially.
Right. Any other questions or concerns on, you know, we did a timeline based on something, on thinking that we might open in April, so I don't really wanna hand that out, but I mean, we've got a timeline here just kinda showing what we plan on doing that I can just kinda roughly go over. Of course, our fitness equipment and stuff is going to the board next week, so if that gets approved, we'll do the order the following week, and that's a 16 to 18 week lead time, so you're probably looking at maybe the end of March when it gets here. So, same thing, with the, membership fees are going to the board, of course, so as soon as those get approved, we can start advertising for those. And then furniture will go, in December, so pretty much the week after that, we can order the furniture. We've got plenty of time on that.
When can people start signing up online to be members of the new system?
When do you think we should? I mean,
I mean, it might be good to be allow people to do it before we start opening.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Just
I
so
think
we
that's
don't
how
have
it
like
is.
an influx
I would
of,
say shoot for May first if you could,
Yeah.
to do that. If you got somebody on staff
give
that
us
can
2
answer
months.
questions.
But the
Yeah,
membership
that
will
way,
start
like, it
July
gets-
1st.
Yeah, you won't
Yeah,
start paying.
I think on our
Membership
timeline, we have like ramping up of like really advertising our potential opening dates, when
Yeah.
our rates are gonna be going into January and February.
Sorry, I
Actually,
just
you know what, let me
randomly
just, I'll hand this out,
popped
so you
in my
guys can
head.
see that.
Yeah,
It's
no.
not,
We know the dates are gonna be
yeah,
wrong.
the
Yeah,
dates will be a little
yeah.
different, but
But
this just
it
kind of
gives
will
us,
show you,
Yeah, so
Just your actual order.
I think I got all this.
And I will say with the website stuff, it's gonna be interesting because we're looking at rolling out that new website, so we'll have that going on.
is it gonna be easier to use than what we have now?
Yes,
Good.
it's gonna be great.
She's been on the
Very
committee,
excited.
yeah. She's been on the committee for it, so she can run it. Better than that. I know Derek's excited about it.
Yeah, I've asked Derek a few questions about, is this gonna be like this?
That's on
Are
the
we gonna
next,
have-
that's gonna be on your agenda packet for next week. too.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, and just as far as me too, I'm focusing more on like the game room and gaming stuff. So, you know, for what I'm doing, you know, that's more of what my focus is right now, because I'm really trying to make that gaming portion a success here. I mean, I've got a vision for it, you know, I mean, I think it can go really well in getting targeting a community that we don't see a lot in our parks and stuff, and so, I think if we do it right, it could be a huge hit for us, so, that's why I didn't want it to go to the board this month, because I didn't feel 100% comfortable with it, because it's not meeting what I want yet, so,
When were they supposed to have the final numbers for you on the?
I think that's supposed to be the 15th, which is tomorrow, so that's a big thing. So, anything else that you guys wanna touch on?
So you have a company for pinball machine type?
I've looked at a few.
arcades?
The question I've got though is, how do we, I mean, are some of these machines set up for taking money, and like, or
Yeah,
is it
you-
just like a free thing that you can?
You would have to buy that.
So, it's just figuring out those little details. But I also thought that the arcades, I guess, I'm thinking is probably gonna be the last thing, because I'm gonna see what kind of money we've got left.
Gotcha.
Some of those things are pretty expensive, so, but yeah.
I have a connection to an arcade game.
Oh, good.
No, not
No.
mine.
But yeah, please tell me, because I've kind of had a little struggle finding some.
Southern Games. I can make a call for you.
Great, thank you.
We've been friends for a long time, so.
Great.
Do we wrap up the hours? We were good. Is everybody good with the hours, the 6 to 8:30?
So what I've got, 6 a.m. to 8:30 every day. You good?
All day, yeah, Monday through Friday.
Monday through Saturday.
Oh, you're doing Saturday, okay, gotcha.
Any Sunday? Oh, okay, so on Sundays, they can rent out.
But I will mention that we had a meeting with the church over here, I can let Gary. speak
Yeah,
about it.
this has been a long, ongoing, I won't say dispute, but discussion with the church next door, with people using our facilities, always using their parking lot
That won't
and
be
stuff.
good.
So we're, you know, I told them that they can give me till April to have some more discussion about this, but, so anyways, that is a concern that we have this parking area, and so I think.
I mean, but that won't be an issue for not
They-
paying till
they
July first, we'll have
requested
parking.
that,
I did tell them, because they were concerned about Sunday mornings. I said, well, what we would do is not have the facility open until afternoon, because, you know, it doesn't compete with the church traffic. So they,
I
we
mean,
don't have
we're
people.
gonna have 300 parking spots.
Yeah.
Well, we will, but they don't
share the
see that
parking
now,
lot.
they just see what's there now, and they're like, you know, they're parking in our parking lot, and like, so, we're hoping that, yeah, we told them there'll be a big relief, that's why I said, could you give me some time to see how this is gonna roll out?
Yeah.
But, you know, and I said, this discussion's been going on a long time, it even cost us our election site here, overparked because they complained about it, and so, this is years ago before we even had a double parking lot down there, but anyway, so we're trying to work with them on this, so I just told them, listen, what if we don't open till after 12 o'clock on Sundays for programs? And they said that would be okay with them, because their church would be done, and then they have Wednesday night, which doesn't seem to be a problem for them. They have a small, community there, so it's not like that large, but they don't, so I thought if we had, because sometimes what happens on Sunday mornings, we have a lot of startup churches that want to use our facilities, right? So then they want to, and then they start bringing in, and some of them have been very successful and grown really fast. At one church, man, I think we were at 200, 300 members within a few months. They were growing so fast. So their parking lot was being used, so because the back door was on that side, close to their parking lot. They didn't want to come around and park. The way the original parking was, they had to park in the lower lot, walk up the steps. It was easy for them to park in the church parking lot and walk across the street and get in there. So that's some of the problems that they've had. So, and then of course our contractors, we had to deal with them parking in their parking lot, putting construction equipment in there and stuff. So, but if anything, I just said we would stay closed on Sundays until noon. So, and most of the other churches,
we don't. The only time we've been open or had anything before noon on a Sunday was when we had a church ready. Other than that, we've never had anybody want something before noon on a Sunday for rentals, so.
And we got some time
It could change with the new rec center.
We have time here because we won't even, if we're gonna be July 1st,
Right, that's
we
what
have
I
some
was
time
just
there,
thinking,
yeah.
yeah.
We have some time, so.
Yeah, hopefully they'll see that the parking is a whole lot different.
Right.
Just that top parking lot that they're demoing and everything, once
Yeah.
that has access to that, I counted it up as 138 spaces just up there, so I mean, it's quite a bit of a difference, so. Cause I think right now it's only like maybe 50, so yeah, it's gonna help a lot. And then I think this bottom part down here is like 80 something. I mean, we're gonna have close to 300 parking spots,
Right.
in this area when it's all done, so.
I haven't gone over this thing. I'm good though on the questions that I had originally. Taking that soft opening out was the biggest.
All right, any more questions regarding the rec center? Kevin? All right, next up.
And I'll leave the discussion up to you guys on meeting frequency.
Okay, so this is me. So with us getting closer and closer to the rec center opening and little bits and pieces that come up and things that need to be approved as we go along, I thought that maybe we might consider meeting more frequently than once every few months because of the importance of the rec center being open, and then go back to a different schedule after. But I just thought it might be something we would want to discuss.
The chair can call it a meeting anytime he'd like, but I think, if you wanted, you're meeting every other month, right? So we've done it for years. I mean, if you wanted to meet every month, maybe you could use the opposite month to be a study session.
Mm-hmm.
And you continue to have these type of discussions. If that's okay with the chair, and that's what this board wants to do.
You know, think about it, what's that gonna give us? It's gonna give us 2 more meetings
Until we open.
till we open?
But,
It's not significant in my mind.
It may not be significant in the little picture, but in the big picture, then we know what's happening each step. If there's something else that comes up, we don't have to wait that extra month to go over it.
Could we do maybe an email update? Would that work for everybody in between? And if we see something on there that says, hey, we need to get together, then we call the session.
And if you'd like to have a visit, anytime you want to take another tour of the facility, if you want to do that, we're open to that too. I just have to let them know that we're going to be coming in. So if that's something you guys want to do, you just have to let us know.
Yeah, we'll definitely want to do it, I think,
Yeah.
when it's getting ready to open, for sure.
I mean, if we're not opening until July, that gives us more than 2 more meetings.
We have December, February,
Right.
and maybe April, so 3 meetings?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want this to be a thing where we get to July and we're not opening because we weren't communicated with, or something comes up that we weren't ready for, or fitness equipment gets delayed, or, I mean, I just don't want it to be a thing where we're not informed about something until the last minute. And so that's,
What are you gonna do about it?
well, I mean,
It's better to be on top of it than to let it go another month.
But
Board meeting is January.
us having meetings is not gonna solve that stuff.
February.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanna take a tour of the facility, like in February, would be a bad thing probably, and then you meet again in March, and you're talking about maybe in April, one more last walkthrough, see how it's coming along then.
I think you just have like a project timeline, you've got like your key items that we know are milestones and
You wanna
showstoppers,
see-
right? Like our showstopper is we have no weight equipment, so we would then know, but you can keep the board updated that way, like on a monthly basis. And I think technically for us as a board, I think we only meet quarterly,
right.
so, I'm not opposed to saying, hey,
No,
we feel like,
It's every other month.
Every other month, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was quarterly.
It's the first, third meeting.
it's on the city website,
City website
city
says
website
quarterly.
says quarterly.
How long you been here, Mark?
It's every other month, trust me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
It's every other month.
So, I mean, for me, if we need to have like some update meeting, like we did this is fine. I think it's also good if you had, even if you just send out an email, hey, here's kind of our milestone list, and these are the showstoppers, and this is something that if this happens, it pushes the date. And then we know, because I think the main thing for us, and Jana's right, we get a lot of questions from people in the community, and we want to be able to answer those questions.
I'm just reminiscent of the splash pad and the opening, and we know it's not finding out till the last minute that we weren't gonna have the piece that we needed, and then we had to come up with a solution, and there wouldn't have been a solution if we hadn't have been told at the meeting. So that's the kind of things I don't want to happen, like all of a sudden, here we are, it's June 20th, and we didn't get our equipment in or something. So that's where I'm coming from, and I'm not.
I'm gonna keep up on that timeline that you have there, of course, we'll update it, and I'm definitely gonna, it's just gonna be check marks on all of it. And if something on there gets behind, absolutely, I'll make sure that that's updated, and you guys will know about it.
Right, but just
And
communicate.
I want to,
Over communicate.
Yes,
Yeah, sure.
like, I would rather be overly communicated with than not know something.
absolutely.
You got the fire marshal inspection, maybe Jeremy can help us push
Yeah,
through.
can you help that?
Yeah, well, I'll be in discussions with Jeremy on this building for sure, 'cause I gotta get that temporary occupancy.
Who do we know in Planning that can give us temporary occupancy?
Get that life
I
safety
know.
going.
That came up in our meeting yesterday with the architect, and are you gonna be, I said, he works for me, so.
So we're good with,
I
with
think-
email communication,
Yeah,
and then
communication
if
is
we
good.
need to meet
Yeah,
for a
please
study
let me know
session
if you
because
feel
something
like there's-
arises.
if you
Right,
feel like
and
there's
if
something-
one of you see something in the emails that are coming out, then share with everybody else and say, hey, maybe we need to meet and talk about
Yes,
this because,
absolutely.
and they come up, because you've got holidays coming,
Right,
you've got everything else, so it's gonna be a challenge for folks to be here.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, please, just let
I
me
guess
know if
I'm
you
just
feel
used to
like-
having to already be here, so.
Maybe what you could do is set up a time, maybe could we do something maybe in January to do another walkthrough? 'Cause we
January,
should
you
have
have
some-
your regular
regular
meeting.
meeting.
Yeah, so could we do
That
another
walkthrough.
Yeah,
walkthrough
walkthrough,
sometime?
yeah, sure, absolutely, yeah.
I think that'd be good, because it'd probably have some substantial,
Yeah.
things completed that'd be kind of good to know.
We walk through
We
before
should have
the
full
next
lighting
meeting.
by then.
It'll be dark,
Hmm?
it'll be dark, but.
Well, we may have full lighting by then, they're almost.
Oh,
there
that's
now.
true, yeah,
Yeah.
they
They
may
put a
have
power pole
power
up and have a light
Yeah.
on it, so they're getting full.
Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah.
We'll
We
do
could-
6 PM is on the, what is it, the second, I think is our next.
Yeah, you
January
could have a
2nd,
six
yeah.
PM,
Just do a quick
study
walkthrough.
session with a 7 o'clock meeting
Yeah.
for January.
But the study session is just gonna be the walk.
The walkthrough. So it's just be the walkthrough of the building, yeah.
Years before I could tell somebody how to handle it.
So right now, Kevin, to get that timeline updated for us
Okay.
and get that out to us first between now and the next meeting,
Okay.
so we know what's happening with all that.
And it's permanent now, I gave it to the architect and the contractor yesterday, all the names are going to black, so you have to stay until the opening. Don't do that to me. Change your name, go change your name between now and then.
I'm changing my name.
Oh, yeah?
You getting married?
No. Nope. I'll change it back to my big name.
Oh. All right,
All
is that
right,
everything we
is that it? Any more on that? We're good?
We're good?
We're good? All right.
I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?